for a third with the potential of a second, with depending on how he does during the season, right?
Yeah.
Now, I do agree with you with the whole like trading and inside the division. Like you're looking at it like why would you make them even better? There's another thought process behind it where you're taking their future draft picks away from them. So yeah, they're getting better. They might be good this season, but you might be taking all that stock away from them eventually, and it does kind of hurt them in the long run, depending on how they do things.
Yeah.
So that is another way to look at draft picks.
Teams like the Chiefs, without even needing to, they must be really, really good in the draft. I bet you if we're looking at their last like 10 years of drafting since Mahomes got there, they're drafting some dogs because there's no way. I mean, they don't get top free agents all the time. Like even same with the Niners. Like the Niners
don't even get top 10 picks.
Yeah. No. Yeah. Exactly. They don't get top 10 picks. But anyways, I just thought it was interesting. I thought Devontae Hopkins was probably the hottest guy out there on the trade block, and then they just gave him away for a 5th round pick. I felt like, gosh, I wish I could have called Niners brass and told them give a 4th round pick for that guy.
Yeah.
What are we doing over here? Like, I don't know. Anyways, so we are going to get into Cool Kids Club. This is a segment every week where we take one player from the week that really, really impressed us. We got figurative Letterman jackets. Everybody gets a Letterman jacket when you're in the Cool Kids Club. You get invited to all the hot parties. So we're going to go around the table and talk about one guy that impressed us this week, a new initiate into the Cool Kids Club. Ryan, who you got?
I have you might not have heard of him. You might have.
All right, I like that.
Raymond.
Khalif Raymond. I don't think I have.
Punt returner to the Detroit Lions. And we all looked at that game. We all saw the Detroit Lions just dismantled the Tennessee Titans. And we all realized, wow, 52 points. We go back to our fantasy leagues we look at, right? And Jared Goff throws for less than 85 yards.
Yeah.
And you're like, how did they do this? Well, I started looking into it. He did have 2 catches, so he is a receiver over there for 14 yards and 1 TD. But he had 5 punt returns for 190 yards to flip the fields.
Wow.
With a TD, he had a 90-yard punt return. He had a 64-yard punt return, and he had a 44-yard punt return, all to flip the field position. That is why the Detroit Lions just poured it on Tennessee.
Before we get to the next one, and we're going to go fast, I know we got a commercial break here, but are you guys liking the new kickoff rule? I'm loving it. It's great. It's more kicks returned. You know what I mean?
These were punts. These were punts.
No, but I know what you mean. Yeah.
That's what impressed me the most.
I just like to see the returners get back in the mix, man. I like to see it. It seems like it's keeping the players safe, but then also there's more action.
So for me, Khalif Raymond is my Cool Kids Club this week.
All right, Khalif Raymond is his Cool Kid Club. Keegan, who do you got? What do you got on your shirt there? Josh Allen flying Buffalo Bill with a beer pong?
There you go.
All right. Okay.
I'm liking
because it's like the Bills Mafia. They jump through the tables. All right, I get it.
It looks like some backyard wrestling going on.
Yeah,
to me.
it does. It looks like some backyard wrestling. All right, Keegan, who you got? Who's
so
your cool kid?
my Cool Kids Club new initiate is Josh Jacobs. 25 carries, 127 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, including a 38-yard beauty of a touchdown run. I must say, in the beginning of the year, we kind of talked about him. Ryan wasn't very keen on him. He thought he was a little bit washed. But right now, he's 4th in the league in rushing with 667 yards. Looking pretty damn good. Welcome to the club.
Report came out today that he gave the Raiders a chance to match the offer, and they didn't do it. Ooh. All right, who you got?
Can I use that phone now?
Yeah, exactly.
Call that brass?
Yeah, exactly. Hey. Kelly, who you got? Who is your initiate into the Cool Kids Club?
I got Jameis Winston, Cleveland Browns. He threw for 334 yards. It's funny because he's like, remember that guy that said, hide your kids, hide your wives? You know, when Jameis Winston get on TV, you know he's going to give you something. You know? Man. He's going to eat a dub or something like that. I mean, I love Winston. Yeah. Just like he's quoting Eminem, as Ryan was saying earlier. I mean...
Yeah, if he would have said "Mom's spaghetti," I would have lost it. Yeah, Jameis Winston has the best pregame speeches. Yeah. Even when he was the 3rd stringer, he was still giving the pregame speeches. Yeah. They're like, just get Jameis in here. He's so good. I don't know how good of a quarterback he is, but he's a heck of a pregame speaker. But
he's definitely the one that helped out Chunk on his upset dog.
Yeah, no, Jameis Winston.
Awesome.
He better be the quarterback going forward, man.
Yeah,
he gives them the best chance. Yeah. And same, it's like a weekly theme. Why do teams in the NFL not have a guy like him on their roster, some of them?
Right.
Like, why are you not making the phone call to get Jameis Winston as soon as your guy goes down? You know what I mean? He shouldn't be buried that deep. He'll at least, if I'm a fan and I'm going to the game and I know Dorian Thompson-Robinson, hyphenated, whatever, is going to be the quarterback, I'm like, nah, I'm giving my ticket away. If I know it's going to be Jameis Winston, I'm like, we're going to be entertained.
Yeah, because you know he's going to throw it in the triple coverage.
Yeah, exactly. We'll get some.
That's my guy right there. I'm throwing it to him. Yeah. You put the whole secondary on it.
My guy is none other than George Kittle. It was National Tight Ends Day. I don't have the stat in front of me. Yesterday was National Tight Ends Day. I don't have the stat in front of me, but it was something like more touchdowns and catches ever for National Tight Ends Day for tight ends. So it seems like almost like either the coaching staff or the tight ends themselves, they're aware that it's Tight Ends Day and they got to show out. But George Kittle, 6 receptions yesterday against the Cowboys. I hate to say it, he owns the Cowboys. He has some good games against Cowboys. 6 receptions, 128 yards, 1 touchdown. On the season, 49 receptions, 503 yards, 6 touchdowns. The most he ever had is 11 in a season. I think he could potentially beat it. But George Kittle, come on back. That's our Cool Kids Club. See you in a minute. I'm Adam Avalos with eXp Realty. I'm a born and raised third-generation Yuba Sutter resident who has lived in the area all my life. My office is located at 1429 Colusa Highway in Yuba City, providing commercial and residential services to Yuba Sutter and Butte counties. Whether you are buying or selling, I promise to treat you and your friends and family like my friends and family. More information about Adam Avalos Realtor can be obtained by phone at 530-933-3541 or by following Adam Avalos Realtor on Instagram or Facebook.
As we enter the rainy season and hope for rain, but not too much, we are thrilled to say that in Yuba County, we've made a ton of progress in improving our levee system and reducing our flood risk. But there is still much more to do. At Yuba Water Agency, reducing flood risk is job number 1. We are preparing now for more frequent extreme storms. We're already seeing them. And we just want you to know that we are working hard to reduce your risk even more. Learn more about what the future holds at yubawater.org.
Welcome back. 93Q, Huddle Up. That's the name of our show. We are so happy to have you back. We are going to dig deep into the 49ers game. Well, first of all, let's check in on Monday night. Well, now it's not here. I believe it's 9-6.
9-6.
9-6. Steelers are winning. So Steelers got a game going there, tight game. But we're going to get into the Niners and the Cowboys. Always a big thing, a rivalry that goes back years and years and years. Like when I was a wee lad, they used to play an NFC championship every single year. It seemed like every single year it was like Troy Aikman, Steve Young, Troy Aikman, Steve Young, and the winner of that went to the Super Bowl. But, obviously 2 different teams now, 2 banged up teams, but the 49ers were able to pull out a win. It looked like at the end there that they were potentially going to give it away. That's the theme. The Niners, they love to give them away at the end and make it kind of scary on me. I was like having a good time, and then all of a sudden I walk back in the living room and it's like, we're potentially going to lose this? Keegan, you're a Niner fan just like me. What did you think about the game yesterday? They were able to beat the Cowboys.
I thought that they definitely showed a lot of improvement for majority of that game. They had a lot of pressure on Dak. The Cowboys didn't really do much. I know there was a little sneaky Zeke Elliott touchdown, which was shocked everyone, I think. but overall, I was happy that they put pressure on Dak. That he didn't do really a lot. But they did, again, show that they opened that door. And for a better team, that might have been enough to let them in to win that game.
Yeah, I was like, we're cooked when the announcer said Zeke Elliott had his longest run of the season on the Niners. He had an 11-yard game. He only finished with 34 yards, but I was like, oh my gosh, dude, against us? Like, we're going to play all these games and you're going to let Zeke get his longest run against us? Come on, where are you at, Fred? What do you think, Ryan? Cowboys, I mean, that was a must-win for probably both. I'm not going to say a must-win, but it was a big win, like, for each other. They were like a litmus test to see where they're at.
Yeah.
The Niners come out on top.
It was a good win for the Niners. Both teams are completely banged up. Probably more the Niners right now, but the star-studded defense of the Cowboys. I do think it's a bigger win for the Niners because that allows that position to be tied for first right now in that league, where the Cowboys didn't gain any ground. They're still third in their division. To me, Cowboys are very one-dimensional. They don't have a run game, so
Yep.
you're relying a lot on the arm. And when you don't have an O-line going up against a defensive line like the Niners, it shows. It shows weakness. They were manhandled. The two late touchdowns, I just think it's garbage time. It's a prevent defense, which I absolutely hate in the NFL because it prevents you to usually win the game.
Yeah.
For more than anything, it just happens all the time.
I couldn't believe how open CD Lamb was on that touchdown.
Yeah.
Like he ran
He just got-
through the end zone and just was by himself. There was like no one around him.
And the second touchdown, he just came across
Yeah.
the front, and
Yeah.
no one even kept him.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was a good win for the Niners. Not as the hype as what I would think the matchup should have been when you first saw it on the schedule.
Yeah. Beginning of season, this should have been a marquee matchup. I mean, it was flexed in. Still a lot of fan base people, but one of my thoughts from the game is that the Niners have these two secondary guys, Charvarius Ward and Diamador Lenore. Charvarius Ward's coming up on like contract here, and he's getting a little older. That Diamador Lenore guy needs to be kept at all costs. He's a really good DB. I thought it was a big win for the Niners. It was pretty much a must-win, just as far as like, locker room vibes and things like that. Any other thoughts on the game? I mean, Warner, he played another game. I got another awesome game. I got my Warner T-shirt on today. Fred Warner, he's playing out of his mind, doing some cool things, punching out balls, doing some stuff like that. What do you think, Kelly?
Should have had a pick right there at the end.
Cowboys, 49ers.
Yeah, I thought they both limped into the game. The Niners prevailed. They're both hovering around 500, trying to make it to the playoffs. One team going one way, the Niners. Cowboys going another way. So it's going to be a tough season for the Cowboys because they got a tough schedule coming up here.
Yeah, they both have a pretty decent schedule coming up, and the nice thing is the Niners are going into a bye, so they're going to get a little healthier.
Yes.
Potentially having McCaffrey come back after this, which will give you another weapon.
Yeah, we saw Dalvin Cook a little bit yesterday. He didn't do much. 6 of 12. CeeDee Lamb had a heck of a game. It was funny because they lost, but CeeDee Lamb looked really happy yesterday because he got the ball 13 times for 146 yards. Like, that guy just doesn't care if they win or lose. He just cares if he gets the ball a lot. They could be up by like 20 points, and he's screaming at Dak to get him the ball.
And there's the reason why they lost.
Yeah, he's like, honestly, Obviously, I don't know him personally or anything. I don't know anything about him other than what I see on the field. But he seems like one of the most toxic players in the NFL. I'm going to stand on that. I kind of said that like a week ago, but it's just not a good relationship between him and Dak. And
Devontae Adams up there too, though.
Well, yeah, Devontae Adams. What he coming out? And I mean, I'm going to talk about that a little bit.
I'm so glad he got traded to a team that's just as bad.
So I saw a report that said that at the end of the first game that they lost, Devontae Adams gave the post-game speech.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Talked about how the team is basically they're making mistakes and we've made mistakes. We got to complete those. It's like, dude, you've been on the team for 2 days.
Yeah, he's still got jet lag from just getting over there. But anyways, Niners beat the Cowboys. It was a must win. I was really happy to see that. Like I said, they gave me a little bit of a scare at the end of there. I want to talk about a situation with Tua. He came back this week, and Tua, they asked him, if he's going to wear the Guardian cap. For those of you who don't know, Guardian caps are kind of like a little cover. They have some extra padding. You see some guys. I actually think I was kind of worried it was going to look silly, but I actually don't think it looks bad. I think it's cool that they give everybody the choice whether they want to. I was thinking to myself, are guys wearing it so that they could protect their brain from concussion, or are some guys wearing it so they can smash dudes harder? And not have to worry about the concussion. I don't know. I was kind of thinking that, but they asked Tua if he was going to wear it, and he said no. He said it was a personal choice. What do you guys think? Tua played yesterday. They lost, but he's not wearing a Guardian cap. He's not doing anything. What do you think, Kelly?
Maybe a little too many knocks on the head.
Should he wear a Guardian cap, Kelly?
Wear a Guardian hat, yeah. But, I think some of the players are looking at how it's going to make them look, the aesthetics of it. But to me, it don't look terrible. No. And I think there was a guy on his offensive line that had a cap on.
Yeah. It looks worse in the training camp.
A little devil's advocate here. I did look into the Guardians cap and this whole research behind it. It supposedly reduces concussions by 52%.
Wow.
In positions, certain positions. These were in linemen. It needs further studying for position players like receivers, running backs that are taking higher impact hits.
Yeah.
So it's not proven to really reduce anything. And, honestly, Tua's getting paid millions. It's his choice. He's going to do what he wants. I think that game would have went a little different if he's probably on a really strict, you're not running.
Yeah.
Don't even roll out.
he
He
ran.
ran 3 times. He ran 3 times, and I think he got down sooner than any.
Yes,
I don't think the defender was within 5 yards when he was sliding.
Yeah, I don't know if any cap. That's the thing, though. It's like it's him. It's his like play style and the fact that he's not gotten better at it. But yesterday he slid during the game, and everybody in the crowd cheered for him. It was like a standing O.
Yeah.
They're just tired of seeing this guy get rocked like that.
Well, because look what the Dolphins looked like yesterday with him in the lineup.
Yeah.
Like, wow.
He gets the ball out accurate, and they move
It's
the
a
ball.
whole different team.
Yes. And Mostert, man, I had him on my bench all the way.
Yeah, I had most
Two nice little touchdowns.
No, I know. Yeah. They're a good team. They offensively, they have the firepower and stuff. It's just, Tua. You don't want to see that happen again. And it seems like with him, it's just a matter of time, right? Like will you be surprised if in a few weeks he's concussed and like not just concussed. Everybody gets concussed. I mean, they're all concussed. I play high school football. I know I got concussed at least once or twice. You get up and you're like, woo, woo, woo. The birds are coming around. Tua, it's like a whole different ball game, man. He's just like what happens
The
to
level
him.
of concuss.
Yeah. I don't know. We're gonna see. Hey, man, he's gonna keep playing until I think somebody tells him he has to go.
Go Dolphins.
Yeah. Go Dolphins.
Good luck.
Yeah, exactly. We are going to get into a segment called Fire Alarm on our show. That is where we pull the fire alarm on somebody. Before we even get into that, Ryan, he was in Jamaica for the last 2 episodes. Real quickly, happy to be back. He's got a Jamaica shirt on. Was it fun over there? Any NFL stuff going on in Jamaica? Or there?
No. Their form of football is the world football of soccer. So not much. They do have the games on. They, the resort that we were at put a big old jumbotron for the Monday night games. They do cater to the NFL lifestyle, but a lot of them don't have favorite teams. They don't really follow it that well. But the weather was great, man. Enjoyed it a lot. I wasn't going to call in last week, but I felt like that was a much needed one because I was sitting there watching the show while we were relaxing before we went down for the night activities, and I was like, ugh.
That was good. Jamaica, fast people in Jamaica. Usain Bolt, he's from Jamaica, right?
Yep.
And if you watch the Olympics, like there's like 10 of them in a line,
No
and
one's
like
ever beat
3
his
or
record
4
still.
of them are from Jamaica. They're fast over there.
They're fast.
But anyways, fire alarm. Who you got, Kelly? Who you pulling the fire alarm on? Who needs to get some negative
Richardson.
light? Anthony Richardson. All right,
So,
cool.
Amen.
And the coach as a team, though.
Yeah.
Maybe it's time to sit this kid. He's still young, and he hasn't even played a full season yet. But his QBR is like 57, and Joe Flacco's is 102.
His completion rating is 44%.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, he's only had 2 games that he had 50% completion rate, and that was it, 50%. But I think they are gonna damage this kid. Something like Matt Jones and Wilson for the Jets. Those quarterbacks got ruined early in their career, and I think maybe he should sit down, watch Joe Flacco, and learn the game a little more.
I had this as a topic we were going to talk about, so we might as well. We'll get back to the fire alarm, but we'll talk about it. What's
Coach,
that?
I need a break.
A break of what?
In the middle of a drive.
Yeah, he said
I ran too much.
I said I was tired. They asked him, and he said, I ain't gonna lie, that was a lot of running right there. I didn't think I was gonna be able to go that next play.
You can't hand a ball off?
No, I know, exactly.
That's what the next play was.
The head coach said, we had a conversation about it this morning in the quarterback room, which I'll keep private, which means he beat him out. But obviously in those situations, he knows those type of deals. You can't just take yourself out, and it's a learned experience for him, and he's got to grow from it. I think that's especially insane with Flacco behind you. Like, how is he not realizing, like, he could, like, lose his job
Especially
to Flacco?
only being a second-year player. It's not like you're Flacco,
Injury-prone,
39 years
And
old.
they're 4-4.
Yeah.
They're in second place. Like, bring Flacco in. Let's win some games. I'm not an Indianapolis fan, but I think their season is going to depend on whether they move on from Richardson this year and go to Flacco. If they stay with Richardson, then they'll be at home.
Yeah, I know. That's troubling from your guy who's been injury prone and not been there for you due to injuries. You think he would come back and leave it all on the field, but
I'm with Kelly, like the Bears guy, right? You're gonna sit the guy. No apologies, no sitting down. You want a break? Cool. You get 3 weeks break.
I like that.
Take 3 weeks, learn the playbook a little bit more, get your completion percentage up in practice, and maybe you can come back to our game.
I like that, Ryan. Since you're already hot, who's your fire alarm guy? Let it lay into him.
Mine, I'm piling on my Raiders, man. Luke Getsy needs to get the boot. This guy's play calling is horrendous. The Raiders can't drive a ball farther than 5 yards. Yes, I was out of the country. I did follow football though. Last week the Raiders were down driving, got to the 1st and 4 on the 4-yard line at the end of the game, down by 7, and they do 3 pass plays and then settle for a field goal with less than 2 minutes. Like, what are you doing? You got to get a touchdown to compete. This week we get an interception, and yes, I was screaming at the TV when we got that interception because I was saying, please score, because if our offense comes on, we're not going to. And what do? 3 run plays. 3 run plays back-to-back against a stout internal defense. And then when we do want to pass it, we empty the backfield so everyone knows what's happening. The play calling is horrendous. Luke Getsy needs to be out and move on to another play caller.
Yeah, they played them tough, though. They always play the Chiefs tough. I mean, they lost by 1 touchdown.
Everybody plays the Chiefs tough, though.
Chiefs have only won 2 games by more than 7 points.
Yeah.
Just find a way to get it done.
They find a way to get it done, and like I said, so my fire alarm is Luke Getsy. Get him out. I'm ready to move on, because if not, I think AP is going to get the chopping block.
Yeah. It's not looking good over there in Raiderland. Keegan, what do you think? Who is your fire alarm player of the week?
So mine is actually doubling down on what Kelly said with Anthony Richardson. I agree with him. That team, and especially with that team with Anthony Richardson at the helm, I mean, they're not really unlocking the receivers. They did get Taylor back, and I mean, Taylor is a very good running back. What's that?
Pittman had
I know,
one
it's
catch.
shocking. It's shocking. He's a very talented receiver. So that's unfortunate. Today, actually, Shane Steichen was talking about Anthony Richardson, and he was asked if he was still the starting quarterback. He said, right now, today, he is, yes. And then asked to clarify, he said, we're evaluating. So maybe. I think the way forward is this year, if they want to win games, they have to have Flacco at the helm.
Yeah, that's the thing, though. Will they actually bench him, you know? You think so?
you should.
You think they're going to, though?
Anthony Richardson.
You think this week he's benched?
I think he should be, yeah. He's thrown 4 touchdowns, 7 interceptions. Flacco's got 7 touchdowns, 1 interception.
Yeah. No, I agree. Flacco should. I don't think they will for some reason. I just think that's the NFL we live in today. They'll be like, if I bench him, it'll ruin his psyche and he'll be mad at me. You know what I mean? I don't know. It's like,
and if I bench him, is the owner going to can me because we just benched our our first round draft pick? From 2 years ago.
There's a lot to it, but my guy is fire alarm, or my 2 what am I trying to say? Like, my 2 facets of the game are the Bengals running game and the Bengals defense. And the reason why I say that, I don't want to pull it on the whole Bengals, because I did some deep diving today on Joe Burrow, and it's not him. But the Bengals running game averages 89 yards on the ground in the NFL. That's 5th worst in the NFL, 89 yards per game. Their defense ranks around 20th in the NFL at points allowed, 25.4. They got their teeth kicked in by the Eagles, 37-17, but it wasn't Burrow's fault. In this game, he was 26 of 37, passing for 234 yards, which isn't great. 1 touchdown, 1 interception. But Burrow in the NFL, 3rd in touchdowns with 15 this season. He has the best quarterback rating in the league, 75.5, and the 4th highest completion percentage at 70.3. So it's not Burrow. I was like, all right, I'm going to decipher this. What is the problem here? They don't have a running game. They're not running the ball very good, and their defense isn't very good.
I think their running game, though, they can't decide on who they want to run.
Yeah.
That's the problem is, most NFL teams, they have either a bell cow or you have you're splitting the carries, and they're trying to do a split carries last hot hand bell cow, and they can't decide who they're going to go.
Brown's explosive, but I don't think he can push the whole workload. So that's why I think they try and sprinkle Moss in there, and
And then at the beginning of the season, it was the opposite. Moss was carrying the workload, and Brown was like more of a goal line, and then it's like switch. So it's like they can't even decide what they want to do. So I think that's where you're seeing that mix up in the running game.
Yeah, for sure. You would think, though, with a quarterback that's that good, wide receivers that are that good, you'd be able to get something going on the ground. Keep it in with our Monday Night Football game here. The score is 9-9. New York Giants are a team I think is scrappy. I mean, they're not very good. I get that, but they play tough and they do some things well. 9-9 Pittsburgh Steelers. We are going to go to commercial break here, and we will come on back. 93Q, Huddle Up.
Whether it's a backyard party, wedding, or corporate event, 530 Event Rentals offers everything you need, from top-tier bartenders, jump houses, and water slides, to tables and chairs. 530 Event Rentals will provide exceptional service, affordable prices, and top-quality products brought right to your door. More information about 530 Event Rentals may be found at 530-491-1271 or at 530eventrentals.com.
Here comes your local weather forecast from community-supported 93Q. Tonight, our skies will be mostly clear with a slight chance of showers and with a low around 44. And winds will be from the northwest at around 6 miles an hour. Then sunny tomorrow with a high near 66 and that northwest wind at 6 to 10 miles an hour. And Wednesday will be partly sunny with a high near 64. An area of low pressure from the Pacific Northwest will begin to move in on Wednesday. And by Wednesday evening, clouds will increase and we'll have a good chance for showers. And that instability will continue Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Our forecast temperatures over that time will be in the low 60s during daytime and in the low 40s overnight. This weather forecast is sponsored by Yuba Water Agency at yubawater.org, investing in water education programs to support our Yuba County schools. I'm Kurt Baird. Thanks for listening to Community Supported 93Q, and have a good evening.
Welcome back to the show, 93Q. You are listening to Huddle Up. We're so glad to have you. We always are. Appreciate anybody that listens to the show. Even my grandma told me at church on Sunday, she said, you know what? Sometimes I start to listen, but I don't know what you guys are talking about, so I turn it off. I said, Grandma.
Just leave it running. Just leave it running.
Thanks, Grandma. I appreciate it. You know what, Keegan? I actually ran into your mom at Sam's Club, too. That was nice, man. It was good to see your mom. Your mom looks great. Any other mom shout-outs while I'm here? You want to say hello?
What's up, Mom?
What's up, Mom?
Yeah, exactly. We love our mamas. We love our people that watch the show. At least 4 people are watching right now. My mom do the same thing.
There's
She's
only
like,
3.
What's that?
There's only 3. Somebody's mom's not watching right now.
I know, exactly. My mom's definitely not watching. She says she does. She'll tune in for like 5 minutes. And then,
My mom will wait till I, text her the show.
My mom actually listens to it on their way home from work on the radio.
Nice. Yeah.
2 things while we're talking about it. Thank you so much for our sponsor, 530 Event Rentals. We appreciate you big time. But also, there's a YouTube page. Check it out. Huddle Up. On YouTube. I don't know what it's exactly called.
Huddle Up with Adam Avalos.
Yeah, Huddle Up with Adam Avalos.
It's the show's name.
Yeah, exactly. Huddle Up. Check it out on YouTube. There's a bunch of shorts on there. Me and Gary are working on that, getting it up. The shorts are cool because, it's just like little snippets, some takes, and, it's 90 seconds long, 30 seconds long.
I watched them the other day. They were cool.
Yeah, they're cool. They're cool. I love the shorts. And Gary's helping us out. Gary behind the scenes. He is the man. We're going to get into a game, Thursday Night Football. I always like to get into Thursday Night Football. It seems like years ago by the time we get into it. But the Vikings played the Rams. The Rams actually won. Rams are back a little bit. They were my dark horse team at the beginning of the season to kind of make a splash for this reason. When they're all healthy, they are electric on offense. Matthew Stafford, one of the things I kept saying to myself over and over again in that game is, this guy's he's a top 5 quarterback. If he's playing really good, he can fit it into tight windows. He throws a perfect ball. And then when you add in the wide receivers that he got, Kyron Williams, that running back who fits their scheme really well, and the coach, Sean McVay, a really good, coach who thinks outside the box, put them in good position. The Rams are diabolical. They can beat anybody in the NFL. I really, really believe that. Ryan, what did you think? What did you take away from the game? Thursday Night Football, Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua, back. I told Ryan before, I said, you start Puka. He's
I didn't even know he came off the IR. I knew it was questionable.
That was one of them friend texts.
Yeah, that was a nice little friend text.
So you know, brother.
Yeah. Again, like we just said in the intro, man, the Rams are back. This is a dangerous team when they're healthy. This is the team we all expected to see coming out. They're electric. They beat the Vikings. I thought it was a great game. I actually thought it was one of the better games of the week, and it just started off on a Thursday, so it does feel like it was forever ago, right?
Yeah.
My big take, Stafford doubled his TDs this year. I mean, he had 3 going into the game, and he threw 4 in that game. He had the best game since week 1 with his receivers there. Yeah. Kupp and Puka each had, together 12 catches, 160 7 yards or something like that. My biggest take on the whole thing was the Vikings. The Vikings are struggling a little bit, in my opinion.
Yeah.
They came out hot. They've been hot. We've all been saying, are you buying in? Are you not buying in?
Lost 2 games in a row, right?
Lost 2 games in a row against 2 good teams. I mean, no wrong. But what I notice is what they're doing is they go away from their playmakers. All of a sudden, it's like they get this cruiser, they're cruising, and they go away from them. I mean, the first drive, they had 8 plays, 4 with Aaron Jones, 4 and 3 passes to Jefferson's. They score. Second drive, 10 plays, 4 runs with Jones, 2 passes to Jefferson. After that, Jefferson had 3 catches the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Like, this is a tight game. You need to start finding your playmakers. They're there for reasons. You're paying them for that stuff. They're not getting double covered all the time. He was open the whole first 2 drives. What happened?
Yeah, no, I agree. Yeah. Vikings, maybe, not as good as we thought, but still a very, very good football team with a lot of weapons. I know, Keegan, you have, we were kind of talking in our fantasy football league. We thought Mason, and obviously for reasons, Mason and Darnold have been 2 like huge pickups in fantasy football. Like if you have them, those are great pickups. I know, Keegan, you have them. What do you think about the game? How do you think Darnold did?
I think he did just fine. He didn't turn the ball over. I was thinking exactly what Ryan said as well. I wish he stuck with going to his playmakers, and getting Jefferson the ball, I think, is always a good idea. So I'm not sure why you'd go away from that. I'm excited to see Hawkinson potentially coming back as well. So he might feature.
Donald's got 14 touchdowns already this year. He's like sitting there.
Who's the Rams tight end that's coming back? He's good. He's good. He's good.
Higbee.
Yeah, he's coming back too. Yeah. Gosh, because Hawkinson's coming back, Higbee's coming back. Yeah. Who's got Higbee in fantasy football? No, I'm just joking. I'm just joking. I got Kittle. I ain't getting rid of Kittle. You know what I mean?
Do you want him? No.
Exactly. You already got him.
No, I don't.
He's like, all right. We're asking him questions. It's just silence. He's on.
Higbee is on the block.
Higbee is on the block. Obviously, there was a controversial call at the end of the game, though. Like at the very end of the game, kind of in the end zone, Darnold gets a safety. He gets his head ripped off. Clear face mask. What do you think, Kelly, about the game? And then comment on the face mask at the end. What do you think about that?
So, as bad as the Rams has had it this season, they're 3-4. They're in a division. They're half a game out of first place.
Yeah, absolutely.
So if they win this week and the Cardinals lose, they'll be in first place because the Seahawks,
they have tiebreakers.
The Seahawks and the Cardinals will be a half a game behind them.
Yeah.
And they beat the 49ers.
Yeah.
So, I mean, they're not in bad shape. If you look at their record at 3-4, all the injuries they had, I was thinking, man, the Rams are done. But they're not. They're right.
If they don't win that game, Cooper Kupp might have been on the trading block.
He still might be.
He'd still, I don't know if he will, though.
Yeah.
No,
I mean, you're in the, like you just said, you're a half a game out of the mix of potentially making a run.
I know. But
even in 2 weeks,
I think
if
they're
they
trying to
lose
get
the
rid of
next
his
2 games.
contract, though.
Yeah.
So.
Not with Stafford there. Stafford's a different guy. Like Stafford, like you start to trade, some of his key players while he's in retirement. Like he's in that twilight mode.
They go back to losing games like week 3 and week 4.
You could lose it.
But I don't think they feel that they can make it and win the Super Bowl. So
well, I feel that they can. I literally, if you're asking me who I'm most scared of seeing like in an NFC Championship game or the first round of the playoffs, I'm most scared of
the
them.
Rams,
the Lions too, but like. I'm more scared of the Rams. I know what Stafford can do. He can dice anybody.
Because you're not going to see the Lions in the first round. You're going to have to see them in the second round.
Yeah, maybe so. Yeah, I'm most scared of the Rams. That's why they were my pick. I thought it would take long. I thought they'd be so far behind, because I didn't think they'd beat that game against the Niners. That was huge. Well, they might have been trading Cooper Kupp if they didn't win.
We didn't think the division of the NFC West would be where it's at right now either.
Exactly.
So
exactly.
that plays a big role.
Yeah. But they're definitely still in the mix. Well, what did you guys think of, though, the last play of the game? Like, that's not you can't challenge that. You can't review it. I mean, a clear face mask there. I really wanted to see them at least get an opportunity to drive down the field right there.
As much as we review plays for whatever reasons all the time, why can't this be a reviewable play?
Exactly, yes.
Because it's a scoring play. That was a scoring play.
Points, yeah.
I think the thing is, though, is people are touching other people's face mask on almost every play in the National Football League. So you could say, oh, my running back, he got his... Maybe he's not part of the play. But maybe if they're part of the play, maybe they allow it then. I don't know. It's like
that wasn't
holding.
just a touching, though.
No, I know.
I mean, he tackled him with it.
Yeah. I do think it's a slippery
You can even
slope.
see the defender when he's running off put his hands down like, oh, man.
he did.
And then they don't call it, and he's just like, coat.
Yeah. I just hated to see it. They should be able to like huddle up, like just even if they should be able to huddle up. You know, but
They
even
do
if they're
that all
not
the
discussing,
time.
even if they're not discussing anything, be like, hey, come here. What are we doing? What are we talking about? Nothing. We're just buying some time for somebody from New York. You know what
No one has a hot mic on, right?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yeah. I didn't like the way that game ended. But anyways, we're going to get into a topic that I saw this week, and I thought it's got to be on the show. If you could see on Facebook right here, I'm holding up a box of a very, very popular snack. We got some in studio. Some of these guys have never tried them. So you guys, you need to open them up right now and try them. But these are Uncrustables. They are a little peanut butter and jelly snack. They have them in all different flavors. They got them in with
Do you
honey.
heat these up or you eat them cold?
You can heat them up and eat them cold.
They come frozen. You let them thaw, and you just enjoy them.
Yeah, you can warm them
Education me on
up.
this. All right,
You
I shall enjoy
you
it,
can
huh?
warm them up, but be careful of that hot jelly, bro. It'll burn you. You know what I
They
mean?
put them in
it
an
makes
air fryer
sense
too to
now.
make a donut out
you
of
can
them.
make
It's a PB&J without the crust.
Exactly.
That's why it's called Uncrustables.
Hey, Uncrustables.
There we go.
You
Kelly just learned something in his life.
got it, Kelly. You got
Decipher the
it.
code.
While you guys are eating those Uncrustables, and I definitely want your guys' feedback on those. I've got to find my notes on them. Okay, reports came out in the NFL that teams can eat up to 80,000 of these during an NFL season. That's 4,300 per week. I think that's talking about like all the teams, like in general. But reports are that some players on the
No, I think it's one team.
well, it might be.
Because in the same report, it said that the Denver Broncos were one of the 24 teams
Yeah.
that were interviewed, and they consumed 7,000 a week.
No, 700. I think I got it here. We're going to get to the bottom of it while you guys talk about it.
That was on their plane ride, 700.
Yeah, 700. Denver
700.
Broncos consume the most Uncrustables at 700 per week.
700, okay.
700.
7,000
But that's
would be impressive.
Yeah, 7,000 would be
Wow.
impressive. But you could just imagine. Travis Kelce said he has like a podcast with his brother, and he said on that podcast, and I just thought when I didn't hear him say it, I wish I would have, but when I read the quote and I wrote it down exactly, I thought that's so hilarious that he just said that. But it says, I eat more Uncrustables probably more than anything in the world. Travis Kelce, Taylor Swift's boyfriend, a steady diet of Uncrustables there. So what do you guys just housed one. I eat a lot. My kid loves them. What did you think about your first Uncrustable? These two guys are Uncrustable
Right here in the middle,
virgins.
yeah.
What do you think? First Uncrustable?
Yeah.
They're pretty tasty.
Yeah.
Not bad.
Yeah, I
I
mean,
don't
it's
think
a-
I'd eat 700 a week, but not bad.
Yeah, it's a PB&J, right? And now we got to get these guys some milk in here. But what do you think about that many Uncrustables? It kind of makes sense when you think about it. They're easy to kind of handle. You know, they probably walk by some line and grab like 3 or 4 of them.
2 bites and they're gone.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. It's said that 49ers tight end George Kittle takes on 2 every flight for a road game and up to 4 for the journey home. So these guys are housing Uncrustables.
Dude, housing them. But
Yeah.
you know what? I'm with you. I've had kids. I eat them. When I go on my hunting trips, they go in my bag. They're smashed at the bottom somewhere down
Yeah,
there.
yeah,
I'm digging for them. They're good smashed. They're good frozen. They're good
Yeah.
everywhere.
Yeah.
You open it up and you just eat what you can. You get the energy out of it.
Yeah. No, a brilliant design. I mean, take it.
You know who invented it?
Yeah, oh, yeah. Tell us. I saw that briefly, but you did a more even deep dive. Tell us about the
Lynn
Uncrustable.
Critchman. Lynn Critchman. He was an actual football player for North Dakota State that was attending school. Never made it to the pros. Went on after college into the food industry. And from what I saw was he ate a lot of these snacks, and he loved his PB&Js, but he didn't like the crust. So he always took a cup and cut the crust off. And his wife told him, he's like, dude, why don't you freeze a couple of those for your snacks and see what happens? Next thing, one idea led to another thing, and they mass produced it. Actually came out in 1990s.
Oh, wow.
But Smuckers took advantage and bought the idea in 1999.
You said the guy's not making that much money from him.
I don't think. From what I dug into, it doesn't look like he got royalties. He just
What?
sold
How do you
the
not
idea.
get royalties?
Sold the idea straight across. How much do you think he made?
Has that guy never watched Shark Tank?
100, a little more than that though.
Oh, okay.
I'm
Even
gonna
if
say
he got
15
$1 million,
mil.
he got ripped.
He got $1 million.
Wow.
Just one.
In 1999, he got paid $1 million for his idea, and today they sell roughly $1 billion worth of them.
Let me tell you something. He ain't had one in a long time. He's salty. I wouldn't be eating these. I'd be so mad, bro. Talk about
he Uncrustables.
yeah, yeah,
Start a new one.
man, that's terrible, dude. They should reach back out to him and hook him up, dude.
I mean-
sometimes you make a mistake in life.
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean?
Hey, 99, dude, you're a millionaire.
like the guy who bought the pizza with his Bitcoin.
Really? What is that? Oh yeah, but now Bitcoin's worth a bunch. Yeah.
He paid it was like 150 Bitcoin or something. For
My gosh.
For a pizza he bought. Yeah. Y'all never heard that?
never.
I think I've loosely heard it, but gosh darn.
I think the snack is great though for football players with the energy, the peanut butter, the jelly. It's an increase in the energy boost real quick, and everyone eats the peanut butter for that stuff.
Like you said, you could throw one in your bag. Jeff Saturday, NFL alum, played center for Peyton Manning. He said you could throw your playbook on top of them. Didn't make any difference. Squished, unsquished, you're gonna crush it.
Yep.
Uncrustables. So
And it just brings you right back to elementary
Come on, man.
school.
It would be so sick if Uncrustables sponsored the show. Come on, man.
Come on, Uncrustables.
Come on,
Let's go,
Uncrustables. It's like
Smuckers.
all of a sudden we're on like ESPN. Da-da-da, da-da. Yeah, Uncrustables. That poor guy for $1 million, man. He's dead broke right now. All right, we are gonna get into the last segment of the show. It is called Who's Your Dog? That's where we hold up this didgeridoo over here. We got this guy on the it's a didgeridoo.
A didgeridoo is an instrument.
Yeah, it's that thing that's like. I remember that. That's when you know you hung out with Keegan too long. Yeah, oh, you know stuff like
When
that.
you think
But-
the hyena is a dog.
yeah, exactly. You got a hyena over here. Yeah. And it's a segment where we take one Las Vegas sportsbook like underdog, somebody who isn't favored, and we choose them. We're also going to go with who we picked last week. You guys weren't here last week, but Keegan was here last week. Who'd you pick last week, Keegan? Did they win? And who's your underdog this week? Who's your dog?
He doesn't remember.
I don't remember. my
And they won.
They did
They
win,
won.
They did win. I
Hey,
know
this
that.
week's
I just
back-
don't remember
Mine
who I
did
picked.
too, and I just forgot.
You know what?
It was
This-
the Eagles.
Okay,
the
you
Eagles
picked the
game.
Eagles. All right, who the heck did I pick? Anyways, Keegan, you picked the Eagles last week. They did win, but this week, who's your dog?
So this week, I'm going to go with the Packers over the Lions.
Ooh.
I did see that
a good
Jordan
one.
Love, he went for an MRI. It was nothing major. They said it was just a strained groin. Hopefully he can get out there. That obviously is contingent on this win, but I would say that I could see them getting a little upset.
I know who I picked. I picked Atlanta, but after the game last week, if you remember, Godwin went out. So but they probably weren't favored after I picked them.
Yeah,
but it
I
was
do
a
remember
close
that.
match. But that's who I picked. Ryan, who's your dog this week? Who's an underdog that you think is going to pull an upset this weekend?
I'm going to go with the Jags over the Eagles.
All right.
I think the Jags are going to actually put some things together. They've been competing in some of the games. They haven't been blown out like crazy. I think for some reason, the Jags, everything lines up this week, and they pull off a win against the Eagles.
The Jags are 7.5-point underdogs to the Philadelphia Eagles. Game in Philadelphia at 105. I always worry about those warm weather teams going to Philly, though, because they're just not used to it, man. It gets cold out there. It's not like Green Bay when they go to Philly. It's like, oh, this is toasty out here.
To
You
me,
know what
the
I mean?
Eagles haven't impressed me. Like this last game was probably the best game I've seen them put points up. And when they played the Giants, but that was more of a Saquon Barkley. Here's your old team.
I said it last week, but Eagles are kind of silently hanging around back there. They're going to be a contender. They're going to be in the mix. But like this year, they've been kind of low key under the radar. What do they got? 4 or 5 wins or something like that.
I think they're 5.
Yeah,
5 wins.
Eagles are a rock solid team. Still 9-9 in this battle here in the third quarter. New York versus Pittsburgh, 9-9 in the third quarter. Kelly, who's your dog this week? Who you got?
My dog is the Giants. And, they're playing well tonight on Monday Night Football on the road. They're going to be at home against the Washington Commanders, and they're getting 3.5 points. Give me the Giants.
Yeah,
I think the Giants' defense, their offense is playing a little better. And, the Commanders, they've been winning games, but, man, all of them come down to the last drive.
Yeah.
So
Just watch out for those Hail Marys and they'll be all right.
Yeah, just watch out.
exactly.
Well, I guarantee you, anybody on New York ain't gonna be fraternizing with the fans if that happens again. They'd be like ready. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mine is opposite of that game. Their opponent. I'll take the Chicago Bears. They're 1-point underdogs to the Cardinals. I think that's kind of crazy to me that they're the underdog. They're only 1 point, but I think the Bears Bears are they're a pretty decent team all around. They got some weapons. Caleb Williams, he's middle of the pack. He's not like, MVP or anything like that. But I think the Cardinals are a good team too. But I'll take the Bears as my underdog. There was one more thing I wanted to talk about before
Keegan,
go ahead.
If Jordan Love doesn't start, who's your backup dog? Let's hear it.
I was kind of looking at that Chicago game too. I think their defense could get it done. Also, a quick little shout out to Kelly here. Marvin Harrison Jr. had a really good game. He really connected nicely with Murray.
Yeah, I'm disappointed in Murray because he's always open. I mean, throw him the ball.
All right, we're going to wrap it up. But before we wrap it up, I remember what I wanted to talk about. I wanted to give you your chance, man. You're going to close out the show. The Jets lost to the Patriots this week. That's a crazy loss. Go ahead.
Aaron
Get it off your
Rodgers
chest, man. Aaron
is
Rodgers.
bad. He's done. He's cooked, as the young kids say.
I'm so glad Adams joined him.
Yeah.
What, into thinking that?
Hey, they had the same or a better record with Wilson last year. So
Better,
better, right?
It was better.
Yeah.
Wilson had better record in 7 games than Aaron Rodgers did.
I literally can't defend him anymore. Aaron, it's time to come back to Chico.
Hey,
brother.
when they say he's a bad man, he's bad.
Yeah,
I laughed at the
Bad meaning bad.
I laughed at the post game when they're like, "This is a dark moment. We have to look through this darkness." And Aaron Rodgers is like, "You got to go into the darkness."
Yeah, you got to go into the
I'm
dark.
like, bro,
he's totally
there for a while.
Anakin Skywalker turned to the dark side now. Anyways, Huddle Up 93Q. Thank you so much for joining us. Come back next week.
KETQ LP, Yuba City.